Hello and welcome back. This is Luca Majno, episode 36 of Learn to Unlearn, a Return to Health. This should be pretty interesting. Very kind of a small show today, just to talk about various things. I wanted to give you an update on how I'm feeling and what's going on, because for people that are tuning in or that are new to this series, I was diagnosed with 2 cancers. And I will not take radiation or chemo because I know about both of them, being a journalist and being a researcher. So I came home and I was beside myself because I needed help, and called my friend Roger Landry, and he says, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you do a show on your healing and we'll help with the medicine. And helping with the medicine, indeed, because this is what it's all about. It's natural medicine that I've been taking, and supplements since the beginning. And we've been chronicling this from the very beginning. And we're up to episode 36 right now. So if you followed the last few episodes, you'll know that I was bleeding quite a bit in the urine. And because of the proximity of the prostate and the bladder and the lower intestine, what do you want to call it? Number 2, I guess. It's very tightly packed. And being as my prostate is huge, it's the size of a 75-year-old, it's folding over on the bladder, and it's compressing against the lower intestine, which makes it a little difficult because every time you go to the bathroom, you end up having to go number 2 again. And if you don't have to go number 2, then you have some pretty heavy duty spasms and aches and pressure. So because of that also, I had to completely change my sleep pattern, or my way of doing things during the day, because now I can't even sleep more than 2 hours at a time. And on the clock, it's amazing. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock, you wake up at 12:15 or so, you wake up at 2 o'clock, you wake up at 4 o'clock, you wake up at 5:30 or 5:45. It's pretty amazing. I'm lucky I wake up at all, because then you'd have to, you'd have the bed soiled. But I'm just really blessed to be able to be woken up every 2 hours. But it takes a toll on you because you can't have a good night's sleep, even though I'm able to go back to sleep right away after relaxing for a bit and having the pressure and it's not pain, it's pressure, and it's hard to explain, but spasms is the best word I can think, because your body's just really, really trying to get back to normal, as it always does. It always tries to heal. So with that being said, I have to kind of reorganize all my days, because you're exhausted by 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're going, why am I exhausted? What's going on? So there's all these new things going on. And if I happen to wake up from a dream in the morning, I'm no good for at least an hour. You're space-headed, lightheaded, whatever. Most people probably know what I'm talking about. But besides that, everything's basically the same. And it's just a little bit rough because you have to, adapt. I'm also happy to note that there are people that are listening to the show. There are people that have taken the time to message me, and they know who they are. And they're telling me that, it's helping them. And I'm helping myself by doing it. And I think Roger knows that, because that was the idea in the beginning of the show. In the beginning of the series, it was like, he knew, but he's not telling, but he knew that by me doing the show, it would help me, just ground myself into my own healing and work hard at it, keep notes and chronicle everything. And this is probably the best thing I'll ever do in my life, because it'll help other people. And it's going back to health in a natural way. with no chemo, no radiation, you know, and very, you know, the least amount of big pharma pills possible. The only ones that I take are just for pain if I absolutely have to. So this concludes that part of the show. And I'm really glad to say that it's looking good and I'm feeling good. I'm able to exercise and stuff, but don't stay sitting down for about a half hour. Then when you get up, gravity starts to work and you have to go number one right away. So it's just, you know, it's adapting to everything. It's a new adventure for me. And I'm really happy to be able to share it with everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit about fear, because in this slide that we're showing right now, it says the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. And it's a real powerful one, because it's fear that motivates. And when it does, it's surprising what happens on the other side. And for me, it's terrifying going through what I'm going through, because, you know, you're uncharted waters, like my last few shows were titled. Totally uncharted waters. Never been there before, never done this before. You don't have a map to go by, and you're just taking every day as it comes. So it's real fear that can be transformed into something like a treasure that you seek. And I find that really beautiful, and I wanted to share that. Also, before we get into the meds that I'm taking, because I am taking new meds and I'm kind of holding off on that because I want to finish with it. The immune system is our powerful ally, and it has to be taken care of. In the beginning series, in the beginning episodes, what I did was I told you about the vitamin C that I'm taking with turmeric and black peppercorns, which really helps the immune system big time. And I'm at my age, I'm supposed to be taking between 2,000 and 3,000 milligrams, which is 2 or 3 grams of vitamin C a day. So that's like, you know, 2 or 3 times taking, you know, your normal 6 to 7 ounce glass. And what I do is I use 10 to 12 twists of the black peppercorn and a half of a teaspoon of turmeric, and you just mix it in and down the hatch. And it really helps. And if you notice the stuff that really helps your body, you won't feel anything. You know, it's just helping on the inside. So you won't feel any benefit as far as that goes. But as far as the immune system goes, I have another meme that I want to share that says, 1 minute of anger weakens the immune system for 4 to 5 hours. 1 minute of laughter boosts the immune system for 24 hours. That's on the average. That's pretty, you know, pretty general. But it just goes to show that I've always said, you know, in learning how to adapt and how to heal from my condition, I've always said that worrying about what's going on, worrying about your health, worrying about your bills, worrying about money coming in, worrying about what's going to happen in the future. Worry destroys the immune system. And it's something that I'm learning how to, you know, space myself away from. And I'm really working hard at it. It's something, you know, it takes practice. And the immune system will thank you for it. So this is basically what the show wants to talk about today. And I also want to share some new meds that I'm going to be taking. I'm not going to say meds, that's the wrong word. They're beautiful supplements that I was turned on to, which they'll be helping with in my healing. And I'd like to show you what they are and share them with you. Okay, so I'm going to be reading a little bit, if you don't mind, because this is kind of important. The first one is called Protandem NRF2 Synergizer, believe it or not. Huh? And apparently it was sculpted to activate the NRF2 pathways, which is the pathway responsible for antioxidant production. What happens is in the early 20s, it starts to slow down as you grow. The product is a patent mix of 5 herbal ingredients, and it gives your cells a fighting chance. It really does. One of the leading theories of aging is oxidative stress theory. It's based on the fact that our cells are constantly bombarded with free radicals, and they call the subsequent damage oxidative stress. Our bodies naturally produce antioxidants to fight oxidative stress. But as I said, that starts to decline in the early 20s. So they thought of this, and the American Journal of Physiology and Ohio State and the likes like Harvard and peer-reviewed studies that were conducted on this, they say that Protandem NRF2 Synergizer will be, it'll be reducing oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. So there's a lot of benefits to that too. It helps the body detoxify genes, keeping the master blueprint of the cell's function intact, reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, significantly reduces cellular stress through NRF2 activation. Fascinating stuff. And it supports the body's natural ability to repair and rejuvenate its own cells. That's for one of them. So I'll be taking that, plus the next one, which I'm going to share with you. And this one is called Jarrow Formula's lactoferrin. It's an important immune-supporting glycoprotein that's found in breast milk, tears, and other body fluids. One of the biological activities of lactoferrin comes from its powerful ability to bind iron 300 times that of serum transferrin, which promotes the growth of beneficial bacteria. Moreover, digestion of lactoferrin by gastric pepsin liberates the immune-supporting peptide lactoferrin B. Good heavens, that sounds like a doctor. So that's basically going to help the immune system. And it's online for anybody to go look at, or to search for. And it's very, very good, and it's been proven over and over again. Got rave reviews all over the place. So that's what I'm going to be taking for my condition. As soon as I get it, I'll be letting everybody know, and I'll show you the bottle on the shows. And I hope you don't mind today. I'm kind of a bit wheezy because I'm not thinking as straight as I normally do, because I had a heavy night and it's very, very hot outside. Hence the reason why I have one of these in my face while I'm recording. So it's almost up to 100 degrees. So I cannot function very well in high heat. So, and I can't even turn on the air conditioner either while I'm on the show because it's too loud. So this concludes this episode. No. So I just wanted to say thank you for, to everybody for listening and keeping faithful to my show and my progression and my journey. And there's nowhere to go but up, I guess, because with these two, one's an immune booster and the other one's a cell regenerator and a DNA structure DNA structure strengthening, I guess you could call it. It's going to be a wild ride, and I'm really going to enjoy it. But again, you probably won't feel the difference when you're getting healthy, because that's what your body should be to begin with. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. Thanks again.